Now here in the sacred place of Bodh Gaya, where our teacher, the fourth god of this world, the unexcelled, unequaled Shakyamuni Buddha, awoke to complete and perfect Buddhahood, Bodh Gaya, in the site which is close to that sacred place. We have held this 38th Kaju Monlam. And during this Monlam, in this sacred place, all the monks and nuns in the Sangha, all the yogis and yoginis, all the faithful men and women, all gathered here, along with all of the tulkus, all of the teachers, the khenpos, the masters, the lamas. We've all gathered here and recited the prayer that contains the aspirations of all the Buddhas and all the aspirations, the noble aspiration of excellent conduct, this king of aspirations. We have recited it 1,000,000 times, and in addition, along with the makeup recitations, in addition, we've also recited the Samaya Vajra 100 million times, along with the makeup or the additional recitations. We have read the complete words of the Buddha in Tibetan. So for here, all of the monasteries from abroad and from home, and also the gurus, the khenpos, the members of Sangha, the members of the public, everyone has made the commitment to recite this king of aspirations, the noble aspiration for conduct. And the many monks have recited it many hundreds of thousands of times. And likewise, they've recited the Samaya Vajra many millions of times. They all made this commitment, both in Tibet and abroad. Is the lamp of wisdom that dispels ignorance, that it made an offering that represents this, 100,000 butter lamps. And so I would like to, the organizer of the Monlam who prepared all of this in this year. The Kagyu Monlam began in 1983 and it's continued until now. There are people who have served this, the head of the Kagyu Monlam. Likewise, the people who since then have also participated in organizing the Monlam. There's the Monlam Organizing Committee, all the helpers, all the volunteers, and in addition, and the great generous people from all areas who have come from all over. The men and women, male and female, who have come and made a lot of effort to come and serve the Monlam, to gather the accumulation of merit. And now we have completed this Monlam very well. And so, I also have been able to participate. I have been able to make a good connection with it. In such a sacred place as this, to be able to make a connection with such a sacred Dharma as this is for anyone, no matter who they are, very important. And as I mentioned the other day, among all of you, there are many of you who participated in the Monlam from the beginning to the end. And each of you has the merit of reciting 100,000 aspirations and 100 million, or a million aspirations and 100 million Vajradhara mantras. They're all of us. And then there are people who, like I said, I have just a few of these sessions. There are people such as us. If we, of course, have made a connection, we have received blessings, but it's not the same as those people who participated from beginning to end. We have not received as many blessings, and the reason is that when we talk about the fortunate people, no matter what activity we do, the people who from the beginning to the end and do the complete action, who participate in the entire thing with great faith, with great devotion, with great rejoicing, those people have all of the complete virtue of the people who are fortunate. They receive all this virtue. And so in this time, at this point, I would like to seal this with the dedications and aspirations. Now that we've had such vast merit, and this didn't just happen by chance or by coincidence. It's because in many lifetimes we have gathered great amounts of merit and purified many misdeeds, and because of this, we've achieved a precious human body with all the ledgers and riches. We first have to understand that. First, we achieved the precious human body. After achieving the precious human body, we also had a human body with all 10 resources and 8 ledgers. And so among all human bodies, this is a type of human body where we can follow the teachings of the Buddha. If you're a tantric practitioner, you can do the yogic practice. If you're a layperson, you can serve and go for refuge to the Buddhas and the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha and the teachings. You can serve the teachings. For the monks and the nuns, you've gone forth from home to homelessness. And it's unnecessary to mention the Tulkus. They have been taken an inconceivable birth for the sake of beings. And so there's such a time. This is the result of the merit we've accumulated over many eons. And so now we absolutely must seal this with the dedications and aspirations. It's as it says in the way of the Bodhisattvas, the other virtues are like the fruit of a banana tree that is exhausted when it's done. All the bodhicitta is the inexhaustible, like the free driven. If your merit is imbued with bodhicitta, and in the beginning, middle, and end, you do it with a virtuous intention and seal it with a dedication, then it becomes a great source of merit. It actually becomes like the wish-fulfilling tree that gives all our wishes. So this is the type of aspiration that I would like to make. And so at the end of each line, please say, "So be it," and say it aloud, please. And with your heart, also say, "So be it." You think to yourself, "May it be so," with real conviction. And so, like, think that it's you are doing this. It's not. As we say, the Buddha is the Sangha is worthy of praise, worthy of offering. They're logical. They're proper. And so they're the great source of merit, the field of merit, and the source of great in the field of great offerings. We think that we're going for refuge to the Buddha, going for refuge to the Dharma, going refuge to the Sangha. And so the Sangha is us, right? It's all of us, right? So we're called the Sangha, right? So we go for refuge to this, and so we're going for refuge. If we have no carefulness, and as if we are careless and acting properly, then that's just not so. That should not be a habit. Instead of great carefulness, with great faith and devotion, please rejoice and say, "So be it." And please recite "So be it" at the end of each line. or may it be so, to say it first. Now, for us, in this it's among the 1,002 eras, this is the time where the Buddha's Shakyamuni's teachings, and they have not waned. The Buddha is the fourth of the 1,002 gods, and they're the previous Buddhas of Kanakavastu and Kashyap and so forth. We speak about the Buddhas of the past, and so for that reason. And so the teachings of the Buddha are now present. And why are they present? It's because the lineage of the Patimokkha vows has not been broken. And because of this, there are still the teachings of Patimokkha. And the trainings of Bodhisattva have not disappeared. They're still there. They still have power. Their lineage has not been broken. So the Mahamaya last time is present. And empowerments, transmissions, and instructions of the secret mantra have not disappeared. They're still there. And so for that reason, the teachings of Vajradhara are still there. So this is what we mean. So the 10 teachings are still present. And so for that reason, so now these teachings that are still present must remain until Buddha Maitreya awakens to complete and perfect Buddha. So please, that is the first aspiration that we need to make, that they say that. So when we think, when will Maitreya's aspirations, Maitreya's teachings change? We think about it. It says a lot about them, the time when people live for a long lifetimes and so forth. But when the Buddha Maitreya awakens to a time as it's a time until the time when Maitreya opens, there are still many millions of years. So this is how long the Buddha's teachings remain is up to us. If we forget about it in our actions, if we don't keep our Pratimoksha vows, do not keep the trainings of the Bodhisattva vow, and do not keep the Tantric commissions, then within a single generation, the teachings can disappear. You might think this all won't happen. You think it's not going to benefit it? No matter how many monks and nuns you have, it doesn't matter. If the lineage is gone, the teachings are gone. It's not that, because that's so. So we now need to make sure that the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings remain present without waning for many millions of years. That is the first aspiration we need to make. So may it be so. May it be so. Please repeat. May it be so. Now the leader of world peace, the omniscient incarnation of Avalokiteshvara, Gyalanthanjatso, has promised that he would live a long time. And his activity should flourish for tens of thousands of years. May it be so. Now my own root guru, Vajradhara, the 16th Gyalon Karmapa Rangchen Rikpa Dorje. He's the one who I received the Pratimoksha vows, the one whom I received the Bodhisattva vows, the one who gave me all the empowerments, fifth instructions of secret mantra, and gave me the essential pointing out instruction, my root guru. I see him as being inseparable from the Buddha Shakyamuni. And his reincarnation, the unmistaken reincarnation, was the Gyalon Karmapa, Orjun Total Chilne Dorje. Orjun Total Chilne. Tizen Koche Wongi Koche Zal. Victorious in all directions. That is his actual long name. There's an even longer name for a short name, it's the origin from the Dorje. This name is a name that was given to him by Guru Rinpoche. And so in that way, may he live for a long time, may his activity flourish and spread wherever, spontaneously, without effort. Please ever make this aspiration that from the first Karmapa, Trism Khenpa, to the 16th Karmapa Ranjarife Dorje, all of those Karmapas' activity and compassion is combined in one. It's the 17th Karmapa, may be free of all obstacles, may live long, and may his activity live long. And if I make this aspiration, may it be so. Now, the great Dharma King of Tibet, and the Dharma Kings of Tibet, during the time of the great Dharma Kings of Tibet, in Tibet, the true Dharma taught by the Buddha Shakyamuni was brought. Buddha Shakyamuni was taught. And at that time, Tibet was called the snowland of Tibet. There are 21 great mountains there, and each of them, the 21 great ranges, each of which has many glaciers and snow mountains. And this is like a pure land for the true Dharma. It's a place that was really firmly established, where all sentient beings, where all of the spirits were bound by commitments. And this began at the time of the Dharma Kings of Tibet. First of all, it began at the time of King Sonsing Gampa. Before that, there was the King Todri. But the complete teachings were brought in the time of the Dharma King Chojo Densen by the king, the Kempo Shandrakshita, and the Acharya Padmasambhava. And so when these three, the king, the abbot, and the Acharya came together, they founded the teachings and planted them firmly. So that's when it began. And from that time onward, they have spread gradually and flourished. There have been the 8 lineages of the practice, the Nyingma, the Kadampa, the Path and its Result, the Marpa Kadru, the Shampa Kadru, the Pacifying, the 6 applications, and the lineage of working. Likewise, all of the translators, starting with Tumi Sumedha to like Vedotsana and so forth, over time. So the 8 great transmissions of the 10 great transmissions, these are the great. There's also the Dharma, the Tibetan, early Tibetan, the original Dharma of Tibet, they burn, and all of the texts, they have many temples and people who upheld the teachings and so forth. Many great beings who have upheld the teachings, as you all know. And so may all of the teachings of all the masters live long. May the Sangha community flourish. May the Sanghas inside and outside of Tibet flourish. May all the and may all the people who have faith in Dharma, may their minds go to the Dharma, may the Dharma from the path, may the path dispel confusion, and may confusion arises wisdom, and then may they achieve the state of the complete and perfect Buddhahood. And in this lifetime, they may be free of any impediments to their life, and may all these be dispelled entirely, and may they have great prosperity. So if I make this aspiration, please may it be so. May it be so. Now, here in this noble land of India, we have the Himalayas, and all of the areas of Himalayas are the many sacred places, the minor sacred places, the hidden places, the sighted places, and places where many people have appeared. And there are many great people in these areas who have followed the teaching, and the teachings are still flourishing, and may they remain long. And likewise, they are continuing their activities of Dharma now, and may they gradually continue. So may all of these internal, external conditions that they gathered accumulations, they went on the path, and may they achieve the Buddha. If I make this aspiration, may it be so. Now, in these Himalayan regions, for example, in Nepal, there are three great Dharma communities: the Lumbini, so places where the Lord of Yoga, Milarepa, and many other great masters of the past have practiced. And so for now we call this the land we call Nepal. So there, like also there is the kingdom of Tibet, a site that was blessed and taken care of by Tibet, with many, is filled with many places that he major and minor sites of him, where the Dharma king and his family, where there is the Sangha of the Dharma, and well as the faithful public, a beautiful and excellent external environment. Likewise, in many areas of the world, the teachings of Buddha have been firmly established. There are places where the Theravada teachings have taken root, places where the Mahayana teachings have taken root, the places where the Vajradhara has taken root. This happens all over the world, east and west, and in all of them. And likewise, there are all the followers of the world, the Buddhists who are there. The number is 7 billion people now who are considered Buddhists. 700 million people. And these pray that their minds may go to the Dharma become the path, and they reach the state of perfect Buddhahood. May it be so. Now, in this place where we've had such a great fortune, the sacred place of Bodh Gaya, and also in India, there are many sites of the where the Buddha performed this great activity, as well as many of the minor sites of the Buddha. And there are 24 other sites not included in those, 32 bands, and so forth. Likewise, there is the ancient culture, the jewel for all human beings, worthy of all people. In this noble land of India, there is the perfect Dharma, there's perfect wealth, the great liberation, perfect liberation. It is very prosperous, and may everyone may it be so indeed. Next, in this great earth, there are many different ethnic groups, different views, different various religions, various environments. And there are over 8 billion people in this, people in terms of animals. And there are those who live in various places, all are more than can be counted. May all of them be free of the fear of war, of illness, natural disasters, or environmental problems. May all such problems be dispelled, so that all enjoy the pleasures of an age and of perfection, great prosperity, and ultimately achieve the state of the ultimate happiness of omniscience of Buddhahood. May it be so. When we talk about, we need to say the state of Buddhahood, but when we say the state of Buddhahood, we must have the thought that I'm going to achieve the state of Buddhahood. And it's the thought that I must have, to think that I need to achieve Buddhahood for the sake of bringing all sentient beings to the state of Buddhahood. If we do not have that, we will not be able to just become a Buddha by chance. And you cannot be taken, the Buddhahood cannot be taken away from you. You say it easily. The state of Buddhahood, it's first to be written in the mind. First, you have to have the gather the accumulations of merit, and then fulfill your observations. And then now we're in the sight of Buddha Shakyamuni. He first roused the bodhicitta, and he spent 3 uncountable eons gathering accumulation, purifying obscurations. He said, this is what we need to do. I said, that means that now that we are all here, there are all of the tulkus who are here, there are all the monks and nuns in the Sangha, all of the male and female yogis, all of the members of the public. Maybe all, just as the Buddha first aroused bodhicitta, gather accumulations, and in the end awaken to Buddhahood. May it be so. So now here we're doing this Kajamanam, as Harival said. May these roots of virtue all, for example, all of us, we've recited the aspirations, we've made supplications, so they're all these roots of virtue. And there was also the organizer of the Monlam have done as the Karmapa Ujjayi has instructed them. They've invited me, and I've come there, and I've done the Dharma activities as I've wished. And so all the roots of virtue from all of this, we gather it in one. May we gather it as one and dedicate it for the sake of all sentient beings throughout space, all sentient beings anywhere in space, to be free from the short term, from the suffering made lower realms, and eventually, gradually free themselves from the suffering of samsara, progress to the 10 levels and 5 paths, and may all sentient beings in 6 classes and the 4 types of birth and so forth may be able to come to the state of complete and perfect Buddhahood. May it be so. Excellent. Now please recite the concluding prayers. And at this time, we will recite we have the words of truth from the Ocean of Victorious Ones, the prayer of the aspirations and the teachings of the 8 practice lineages before. And so I wrote this, and it contains, mentions each of the 8 great chariots of the practice lineages. And these teachings spread from historically. It's not like they're all separate different things. They all appeared historically, and so they precious teachings of the 8 practice lineages flourish and live long, and may this be so. May the Sangha flourish. May the Sangha flourish not just in terms of numbers, but in terms of their many features of the Sangha, being learned, venerable, and good, teaching, writing, and debating, listening, contemplating, and meditating, because then after many different causes it reflects to come together. And so we have all this sangha. May such a sangha flourish. Thinking about this, these great, such this prayer with the great, for the teaching of the precious, it is flourish. It's for the benefit of sentient beings. If it doesn't benefit sentient beings, then the word of the teaching flourishing is not right. It doesn't really actually reach the meaning. It needs to actually be beneficial to sentient beings. The Buddha was Bodhicitta for the sake of sentient beings. He underwent austerities for the sake of sentient beings. He awoke to Buddha for the sake of sentient beings. That's why he taught the Dharma. He didn't teach it at first. He didn't teach it. It's as he said, keep peace on the land, but luminous non-compound, like Dharma, like nectar is this Dharma I found. Whomever I should teach it would not understand it, and so I shall stay with that teaching in this wood, he said. That is what he said. And so then the Buddha taught this. But then he taught the Dharma. He taught it many times. All three wheels of the Dharma are included within it. It's deep, peaceful, elaborate, non-compound. It's the true Dharma. It's like nectar, right? Everything is contained with it. When we say it's like nectar or like amrita, there's no impure, no unclear, no aspirate, no misdeeds. To be able to purify ourselves of all of the impurities, to be able to transform all the afflictions, that is the path. And so that's what we mean when we say the word amrita. So to be able to transform the maras, it's the nectar that is able to transform the maras. And so this is the Dharma that is like nectar. This is what we mean when we say nectar. It's able to transform the maras. And so then the Buddha was requested by Brahma and Indra to turn the wheel of Dharma. And he went to Sana and he first turned the wheel of Dharma. Then he went to Vajradhara and he turned the wheel to the Vajradhara mountain in Vajradhara, and he taught the second wheel of Dharma. And then he taught many other cycles of teaching. He taught the teachings of Vajrayana. And so this is all what we call the ultimate Dharma wheel. It's of course the essence kaya, the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and the Nirmanakaya all unified is the essence kaya, Sambhavakaya. And so this is the actual Buddha. This is like the Buddha of Vajradhara. This is the first Buddha. The Buddha that transcends, that always putting the continuous wheel of Dharma. And this is the Dharma. So there's no end to the Dharma, but because there's the Nirmanakaya of the Dharma. It was born as the king, Prince Siddhartha, the son of Shuddharma, who then became the Buddha Shakyamuni and turned the wheel of the Dharma. And spent 45 years after that point turning the wheel of Dharma, teaching the Dharma. And his final deed was to pass into part of Nirvana. From that time, that was the wheel of Dharma. From that time was completed at that time. And so this is the talk about the three wheels of Dharma that we have now. We can talk about the three baskets, or we can think about it as the four classes of Tantra. And so for that reason, he said for that reason, so the sacred mantra body, no. The sacred mantra is this ultimate empowerment, is all still extant. It transcends all elaborations, all concepts. It is free of any concept. And it's always continually teaching the wheel of Dharma, as you all know, but I'm just reminding you of this. And so in this way, now there's the Dharma that we have, the teachings of practice lineages that we have, the teachings of teaching, practice, and the actual application of them. It's all still present. And may it remain long, and thinking in this way, with a pure mind, a pure intention. I think it's not for the sake of connection, it's not for the sake of pleasing others, it's not for anything. Instead, think that you're doing it with a pure motivation and a real aspiration. So please pray in this way. Please recite the aspiration for the teachings of Flora.